that's coming to fruition. So his studio's probably almost done, because I don't know how much he wants to do on location or how much he wants to do in the studio. And just to, have the opportunity to executive produce a movie, a TV series that I was in the movie for, even though it's not all based on Rich Porter, AZ, and everything else. I think it's more than that. Not I think, I know it is. But, I don't want to say too much because, somebody said I announced that I was the president or something, up everything. So I'm just gonna shut up. And when it's time, when it's time to make the right announcement and tell y'all more about it, then.
This situation didn't start out loud, but it's quickly turning into something very costly for certain people. What's happening right now feels like a quiet power shift, the kind that slowly builds and then turns into a serious payday. And right in the middle of it, one key name continues to stand out. While most people are still caught up revisiting the past, Cam'ron is already looking ahead, focused on what comes next. And the money tied to this move is starting to look heavier by the minute. Now here's where things take an interesting turn. Behind the scenes, 50 Cent has been playing his position for a long time, well before any public announcements or social media buzz ever started.
A post about, you executive producing a Paid in Full series. You want to tell the people about that?
Well, first of all, shout out to Star, shout out to 50. But he told me about this about a year ago, that he had the rights, maybe a little less than a year. He had the rights to the Paid in Full series. And, there's a few stories he wanted to talk about, Preacher, and he was like, he gonna let me executive produce it with him. And that was it. And we had a couple.
He already had the rights, the vision, and the rollout mapped out. From what's been shared, Cam'ron was brought into the plan nearly a year in advance, so none of this happened by chance. This move was calculated, strategic, and handled quietly from the very beginning. And let's be real for a second. Paid in Full isn't just another early 2000s film. It's a cornerstone of street culture, inspired by figures like Rich Porter, built around hustle, ambition, and that rise that almost always comes before the fall. The story still resonates today. People quote it, reference it, and break it down like it's real-life history, not just entertainment. So when talk of a series revival starts gaining momentum, this isn't just nostalgia for the sake of it. This is business with real weight behind it, real money, and real stakes attached. Now here's where everything shifts. Cam'ron isn't just stepping in for a quick cameo or putting his name on promotion. He's coming in as an executive producer alongside 50 Cent, and that's more than just creative involvement. That means control, ownership, and long-term financial upside. We're talking back-end deals, decision-making power, and real influence over how the story gets told and marketed. And that's exactly why people are looking sideways at Dame Dash being completely left out of the picture. Whether intentional or not, the message is clear. The Paid in Full universe is moving forward, and it's doing so without him. In this industry, silence can speak just as loudly as headlines. From a bigger perspective, this isn't just about honoring the past, it's about building something bigger. 50 Cent has already shown he knows how to turn stories into serious revenue. This move fits perfectly into that approach. The Power universe didn't just survive, it expanded quickly. One show turned into multiple spin-offs, specials, and a full franchise that continues to generate money. That blueprint is already proven, so when people hear 50 Cent and Cam'ron teaming up for Paid in Full, they're not expecting just another series. They're looking at a potential Power-style takeover with a different story attached. Same formula, new narrative, and likely similar results. Cam stepping into this role shows he's thinking beyond music or acting. He's focused on structure, leverage, and long-term legacy. What makes this move even sharper is the timing. Streaming platforms are hungry for gritty, authentic stories, with real cultural roots, and Paid in Full already comes with a built-in audience before a single scene is even released. That puts Cam and 50 in a strong negotiating position right from the start.
And when he announced it the other day, I said it almost must be time, because I know he's getting this situation together in Shreveport. They're giving him a hard time about his studio in Shreveport, but I've been looking, that's coming to fruition, so his studio is probably almost done, because I don't know how much he wants to do on location or how much he wants to do in the studio. And just to, have the opportunity to executive produce a movie, a TV series that I was in the movie for, even though it's not all based on.
While fans go back and forth about loyalty, credit, and who should or shouldn't be involved, the business keeps moving forward. Deals don't wait for emotions to settle, and opportunities don't pause for old relationships to mend. From the outside, it might look like a simple link-up, but when you zoom out, it's clearly a chess move. Cam'ron aligning with the proven media heavyweight like 50 Cent is a smart pivot that places him in a space where storytelling connects directly with ownership. and ownership is where the real money is made. So while some are still focused on the past, Cam is positioning himself ahead of the curve. If this series performs anywhere near the level of Power, the financial upside won't just be solid, it could be generational. And at that level, being left out doesn't just hurt emotionally, it hits financially. That's why this move carries more weight than most people realize. This isn't just entertainment talk or online noise. This is real business playing out, in real time. Now let's talk numbers, because this isn't hype, it's a proven track record. 50 Cent didn't stumble into success. He built a system designed to generate revenue consistently. We're talking hundreds of millions coming out of a single universe. And that's before factoring in streaming deals, international licensing, and merchandise. Most people get one big moment and fade over time, but he turned one concept into a full ecosystem and keeps expanding it like there's still more to prove. That's exactly why the paid in full situation holds so much weight. This isn't a random reboot or a throwback play. It's another calculated expansion. And Cam stepping in as executive producer changes everything. He's not just showing up to act and collect a check. He's involved for the real decision that happen, from casting to story, direction, tone, and overall execution. And let's keep it honest. When 50's leading a project, he doesn't go for rushed or low-quality work. He aims for premium production, bigger budgets, and long-term returns, every single time.
Rich Porter, AZ, and everything else, I think it's more than that. Not I think, I know it is, but I don't want to say too much because, somebody said I announced that I was the president or some shit and it fucked up everything. So I'm just going to shut up. And when it's time to make the right announcement and tell y'all more about it, then I will. But right now, that's privy to the information that I can give you.
He knows how to package a story so it connects with the culture while still getting approval from executives. And that kind of balance is rare. That's a big reason why 50 Cent continues to earn trust from platforms, and why his projects keep getting renewed, expanded, and pushed even further. Now this is where things get a little uncomfortable for some people. Dame Dash could have been in this position too. The opportunity wasn't permanently locked, but over time, certain bridges were burned, and that changed everything. If those relationships had stayed intact, there's a real chance he could have been involved on the business side, the creative side, or both. But relationships drive this industry, and once trust is gone, things move on without you. That chapter already played out, and it doesn't rewind just because the outcome is tough to accept. While some stayed caught up in old situations, Cam'ron made a different move. He didn't take it to the internet or look for validation. Instead, he aligned himself with momentum, and now he's stepping into that executive position while the business keeps advancing. What 50 values most isn't talk, it's execution, loyalty, vision, and results. In this space, those matter more than past titles or old recognition. If you move at the right time, you stay relevant. If you hesitate or hold on to old issues, the game keeps going without you. Cam understood that, clearly, and it shows. That's exactly why the Paid in Full series has real potential to hit on the same level as the Power universe. This isn't just another story about hustling. It's a brand with global recognition. Even people who haven't watched the film still recognize the name. That kind of cultural impact doesn't fade, it evolves. Paid in Full helped shape fashion, language, ambition, and mindset across generations. And now it's being positioned to grow far beyond a single project, with the right structure behind it. This could easily expand into multiple seasons, spin-offs, and even documentaries. Bringing Cam into the mix only strengthens the strategy because he connects street credibility with corporate decision-making. And that balance is hard to find. Need authenticity without chaos, and business sense without losing the essence. That's the sweet spot. At the end of the day, this isn't just entertainment news. It's a real-turn business lesson playing out in front of everyone.
It isn't just about Rich Porter, AZ, and Alpo. It's stories about different people, Fritz, Preacher, so on and so forth. But when I'm privy to give you guys more information, I will tell you more information. But I'm not jumping the gun and saying too much more than I need to tell you. But when it's time for casting and everything else, I'm pretty sure it'll be a big announcement. And we'll get down to the nitty-gritty then. But that's as much information I can give you till I speak the fifth. And
ownership beats exposure every time. Being in the room will always matter more than being talked about. And aligning with people who know how to scale ideas is how careers turn into real empires. While some are still debating what should have happened years ago, the future is already being built step by step. The deals are lining up, production is getting ready, and the blueprint has already been proven. This move isn't loud, but it's effective. And once it fully plays out, the numbers will speak louder than any interview ever could. Cam'ron and 50 Cent are making a statement without saying much. And that's intentional. Understanding the streets is one thing, but knowing how to protect a brand and execute a real plan is where the real money is made. Talent alone doesn't generate revenue at this level. Strategy matters, timing matters, and control matters most. That's the piece a lot of people miss when they focus on who was hot in the past instead of who's making smart moves, right? Now look at how this is being structured. Paid in Full isn't being treated like a quick nostalgia play. It's being positioned as a full-scale franchise, with long-form storytelling and possibly even expansion into other formats down the line. And none of that happens by accident. This is a rollout designed to stretch the brand across multiple lanes and keep it generating income long-term, not just for a moment. When 50 gets involved in a project, he doesn't think small. He thinks in terms of seasons, spin-offs, extensions, and global reach because he's already proven how to turn a single concept into a self-sustaining ecosystem. That's where Cam's role becomes critical. This isn't just about visibility anymore. He's now in a position where momentum turns into leverage, opening doors to new deals, media ventures, and long-term opportunities that go far beyond one project. This is how the shift happens from being part of the culture to actually owning a piece of it. Cam isn't just collecting a check and stepping away, he's building equity, and that's a completely different level. When the project grows, his value grows with it. And that's the difference between short-term money and long-term wealth. Once you're inside that system, opportunities start appearing that weren't even visible before. Now addressing the bigger question. Dame Dash could have been part of something like this if things had played out differently. The brand, the history, and the cultural foundation were all there. But business doesn't reward potential, it rewards execution. Connections only matter if they're maintained, and influence only lasts if people trust you moving forward. Once those relationships break down, the machine doesn't stop, it simply moves on. This situation is a reminder that loyalty and business awareness carry just as much weight as talent, sometimes even more. You can be iconic and still miss opportunities if you don't move strategically. The industry doesn't slow down for emotions or past stories. It keeps moving with whoever understands the moment. That's why this move is bigger than just one series. It reflects a shift in how hip-hop figures approach ownership and long-term power. Paid in Full was never just about the original story or the people behind it. It represented ambition, risk, and consequences, themes that still resonate today. Now those ideas are being reshaped for a broader audience with real infrastructure behind them. The culture respects the brand, and now the business side is stepping in to maximize its potential. That kind of alignment is rare, and when it happens, it moves fast and hits hard. The real takeaway here isn't gossip, it's strategy. Cam isn't just securing a role, he's learning and applying the blueprint in real time. He's positioning himself in spaces where long-term opportunities are created, not just handed out. And once you're in those rooms, the benefits don't stop after one project. This is how careers evolve into movements and how opportunities turn into ownership. And once again, 50 Cent is reinforcing a pattern people keep overlooking. Give him a strong concept or a cultural property, and he knows how to turn it into a revenue machine. This isn't luck or hype, it's strategy backed by experience. He understands exactly where entertainment and business intersect, and he positions himself right at that point every time. What makes this even more interesting is that this still feels like the early stage. We haven't seen a full cast lineup, confirmed locations, or a complete rollout yet. And if history is any indication, there's always more happening behind the scenes. Expansions, side stories, and additional projects usually come once the foundation is fully locked in. The structure feels familiar because it's a proven model, and this project is clearly being set up for long-term growth. Streaming deals, licensing, and international reach all come into play once momentum builds. And when it starts, it doesn't slow down, it multiplies. That's why this moment matters beyond entertainment. It's a real-time example of leverage, ownership, and execution. Talent opens a door, but control keeps you inside. Timing creates opportunity, but alignment turns it into longevity. That's the difference between a short-lived moment and a lasting empire. Now here's the question people keep circling around. Is there still a path for Dame Dash to be involved if things change later on? In theory, anything can happen. In reality, business moves fast, and windows don't stay open forever. Once momentum builds, it rarely looks back. Still, this industry is unpredictable. Relationships can shift, and money can change conversations. Whether that door is still open or completely closed is something only time will answer, but right now it's clear who's building and who's watching. And that's why this situation carries more weight than most realize. It's not about sides or past drama. It's about understanding how power moves in modern entertainment. The rules have changed, and the people who adapt are the ones who win. Now I want to hear your take. Do you think Dame Dash still has a place in this picture? Or is that chapter already closed? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let the conversation run. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, share, And subscribe to Drip Zen so you don't miss what's next. More industry moves, more behind-the-scenes insights, and more real conversations are on the way.